Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? My apologies in advance. This might be a little rambly. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out. Anyhow, I've been thinking a little bit about the games that I plan to buy, the games I own, the games I tend to review because I've done some reviews, which is unusual for me, but I decided to start doing that for the heck of it. And it's funny. There's a common theme if you haven't figured it out. I like the old school Renaissance products, and most of the games that I have and the ones that I like to buy that are on my list, you know, are retro clones of D&D in one way or another. The older versions of D&D, and even something that's a little bit farther off, like say Advanced Fighting Fantasy. It still has this kind of OSR feel to it, so I kind of dig that game as well. And, to be honest with you, I'm not like a huge fan. I kind of like to get the Pathfinder core rulebook just for the heck of it. But it's still arguably D&D, just not old school D&D. But it's still, you open up, it's like, oh, okay, it's that game that's heavily house ruled. So what's up? Why would I want to buy a whole bunch of these games? Like despite the fact that I've got a bunch of retro clones, why is something like Crips and Things on my list, or Dungeon Crawl Classics, that sort of thing, or the upcoming second edition of Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. Long name, that kind of stuff. Why is this on my list? And it's funny. You look at what I got here, and you're probably gonna laugh at my gaming collection, to be honest. So let's see. It's probably gonna be really shaky, but here we go. There it is. There's my gaming collection. Yeah, that's it. That shelf right there. We got first edition D&D. We've got World of Greyhawk. We've got a couple of Grimtooth's Traps books right there. Really cool stuff. Crazy. Let's see. We got some Labyrinth Lord I picked up. A few of their books. Advanced Fighting Fantasy. We've got some basic fantasy role-playing game stuff. We got some Swords and Wizardry. And let's see. Do I have anything else hiding in there? I got some Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. I've got Lamentations of the Flame Princess. Delving Deeper. I got Swords and Six-Siders. And I got this book here. Original Edition Delta. This is for mass combat. Talk about that sometime. That's a wild little system as an add-on to a game. So that's the end of the shaking and rolling around. So don't throw up. That's what I actually physically own. I got some PDFs too and stuff. I got like Dark Dungeons on a PDF, and I'll have to pick it up as a book, even though I might never actually play it because it's a little too complicated. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. So what gives? Why would I continuously grab other copies or versions of D&D? If I already own it, like I can already play the damn game, why would I buy more? And to me, I really just kind of fell in love with that system and that vibe and that style of play and that concept a long time ago. And now when I look at some of these games, they're presented, arguably a little bit better than the original books were. But there are also some really neat sets of house rules. There's some really cool vibes. Something like Astonishing Swordsman gives us this really kind of, it goes off in one direction. Lamentations of the Flame Princess goes off in a little bit of a different direction. Even something like Basic Fantasy Role-Playing Game, I dig the changes that have been made there. And if you go on the internet too, you start seeing other people's house rules and forums and rules discussions and mechanics discussions. Different ways to skin the cat. I dig all that. For some reason that does it for me. And arguably, would I play every single game that I'd buy, like, as it is in pure form? Maybe not. But then again, you spend $30 on something, $50, say if it's really expensive, cost of dinner, and dinner's gone in a little while. I can read this book anytime I want to. But for me, there's a certain part of, maybe part of it's nostalgia, but there's a certain amount of entertainment, a certain amount of like, wow, I really like what this guy has done with the game, but I really like what this other guy's done with the game. And I'm sure I'm missing there's a whole bunch of OSR stuff out there. But for me, for whatever reason, I really find, despite all of its warts and everything, I like what the OSR community puts out. I don't always like how grumpy it can get. I found out recently about some bit of a conflict between some OSR people, and some people in the story gaming community, which I just kind of scratched my head about. Like, seriously, people, don't have anything better to do than fight about dumb crap like that? It's make believe, but people fight about everything. But I don't know, for whatever reason, these things do it for me, and I always get a kick out of just hopping on the internet, finding somebody else's little little tweaks and whatnot, and then sometimes I try them in my own game, and see how they work. I think I'll do a video on mechanics sometime and why I dig that, because that's a whole nother story. So this may have been boring to you, but this channel is honestly, it's about me, okay? It's about me and my takes on things. So like it or don't like it, but I've kind of moved in that direction, and I've tried to get away from probably the original focus of my channel, which was to be kind of argumentative. I don't want to be that person anymore. So that's it. What was this video about? I have no clue. See you later.